You are trying to finish a job I never gave you. That is why you are so tired. Somewhere along the way, you took responsibility for something that was never placed in your hands. You decided it was your job to keep everyone okay, to stop someone from leaving, to repair what another person keeps breaking, to hold a family together from one side, to think far enough ahead that nothing painful could surprise you. And because you care deeply, love and responsibility began to sound like the same word. They are not. Love can stay. Love can speak. Love can forgive. Love can pray. But love cannot become another person's will. It cannot force someone to change. It cannot manufacture an apology. It cannot control an ending by worrying about it long enough. Yet you have been trying. That is the weight, not the person, not the situation. The belief that if you stop carrying it, everything will fall apart. That belief has kept you awake after there was nothing left to do. It has made you rehearse conversations that may never happen and prepare answers to questions nobody has asked. And because all of this came from caring, you gave it a kinder name. You called the weight faithfulness. You called the sleeplessness concern. You called trying to predict every outcome wisdom. But there is a difference between caring for something and believing you must control what happens to it. I gave you a part to carry. You quietly added the ending. I gave you words to speak. You added responsibility for how another heart receives them. I gave you today. You picked up tomorrow too. And you have been wondering why your arms are tired. I did not misplace tomorrow. I did not ask you to stand guard over every possibility until morning. And putting down what I never assigned to you is not abandonment. Sometimes obedience is knowing where your responsibility ends. There is something in your life right now that you keep picking back up because you have never questioned whether it belongs in your hands. You have only questioned whether you are strong enough to hold it. Those are not the same question. So before we talk about how to put anything down, I want you to look at the weight itself, not how heavy it is, not how long you have carried it, not what might happen if you release it. Just this: who gave it to you? Because if the answer was fear, guilt, another person's expectations, or your own need to keep everything from falling apart, then perhaps the question was never, can you carry this? Perhaps it was always. Was it ever yours? Some weight does not need a stronger version of you. It needs to stop belonging to you. That is difficult to hear because you have spent so long asking for strength to carry it better. More patience for the person who will not change. More wisdom to prevent the next mistake. More endurance to keep everything together. But strength cannot solve a responsibility that was never yours. Think about the person you worry about most. You can call, you can listen, you can tell the truth. You can show up when showing up is yours to do. Then there is a line. Beyond it is whether they listen, whether they change, whether they forgive, whether they return, whether they make the choice you desperately want them to make. You keep crossing that line in your mind. Your body stays here, but your thoughts go there again and again. Trying to perform work your hands cannot perform. That is why you can be exhausted after doing nothing anyone else can see. You have been working in places where you have no authority, and fear convinced you that stepping back means you stopped caring. It does not. You can love someone without becoming responsible for every road they choose. You can care about an outcome without making yourself its guarantee. You can do everything that belongs to you and still leave something unfinished. That is the part you struggle with. Unfinished feels unsafe. So you return. One more message, one more explanation, one more attempt to arrange tomorrow before it arrives. But there is a point where faithfulness ends and fear quietly takes the next shift. I am not asking you to care less. I am asking you to stop calling control a form of love. And here is where this becomes important. I am not going to tell you that you were made to carry nothing. There is a burden I will ask you to carry. The difference is that mine has an edge. It does not require you to control another heart or guarantee tomorrow. Mine has a boundary. The one fear gave you does not. And before this is finished, I want you to see exactly where that boundary is. Now I can show you the boundary. Jesus once spoke to people who were tired from carrying too much. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. You know that part, but he did not stop there. Take my yoke upon you. That sounds almost like a contradiction. Come exhausted, receive rest, then pick something up. Yes, because the promise was never that you would carry nothing. It was that you would stop carrying the wrong thing. A yoke has a boundary. It places you beside someone. It gives direction to your strength. You do not decide the whole field. You do not control the weather. You do not guarantee the harvest. You walk the ground directly in front of you. That is what fear has refused to let you do. Fear keeps handing you the entire field. What if they leave? What if the money runs out? What if the answer is no? What if the person you love never changes? And before anything has happened, you are carrying outcomes from 10 different futures at once. No wonder you are tired. My yoke does not ask that of you. It asks for the conversation that belongs to today, the decision that is actually yours, the apology you can make, the boundary you can set, the prayer you can pray, the next step your feet can actually reach. Then it stops. You have been walking past that stopping point for years. That is why my burden can be called light without pretending life is easy. The lightness is not always in what happens to you. Sometimes it is in finally knowing what belongs to you inside what is happening. Your part can be difficult and still have an edge. Fear has no edge. Control has no edge. They keep working after midnight, after the conversation ends, after you have done everything available to you. I do not. I give you a place to stop. So when I say you can put this down now, I am not asking you to abandon your life. I am showing you where your life ends and where my responsibility begins. So how do you know what is yours? Look for what can actually be done. There may be a phone call that belongs to you. Make it a truth you have avoided because you cannot control what happens after it. Say it, an apology with your name on it, a boundary you need to stop explaining. Those things have edges. They begin somewhere. They end somewhere. Fear does not. Fear says, keep checking, keep rehearsing, carry the reaction before the person has even had it. That is how you tell the difference. What I give you can be obeyed. What fear gives you can only be managed forever. And perhaps one situation is already coming to mind. You have done everything that was actually yours to do. That is why you cannot find another useful step. You are not waiting for instruction. You are circling an ending you cannot control. There is no hidden task left. No perfect sentence you failed to discover. No amount of worry that will make another person's choice become yours. This is where you stop. Not because you stopped loving, because you reached the edge of your assignment. Let the unanswered message remain unanswered tonight. Let someone misunderstand what you already explained honestly. Let tomorrow arrive without being rehearsed first. And when guilt tells you that stepping back means you abandoned your post, remember, You cannot abandon a post you were never assigned. Your part can be finished while the story is still unfinished. That does not mean you failed. It means what remains belongs somewhere else. And if you have already carried it as far as obedience asked you to carry it, then what remains in your hands is no longer your assignment. It is only the weight. Then let it be weight. You do not need another reason to keep it. You do not need to prove that you cared by carrying it one more night. Do what belongs to you when tomorrow comes. Make the call if the call is yours. Speak when truth is yours to speak. Stay when staying is obedience. But when you reach the edge, stop there. Do not follow the outcome past the place where your hands can touch it. That is where you have been losing your rest. You kept walking beyond your assignment and calling the distance love. Tonight, you can come back. Not away from the person, not away from the problem, back to your place inside it. And whatever exists beyond that place can remain unresolved without remaining on your shoulders. This is not giving up. It is trust with a boundary. So you do not need to leave this message promising that you will worry less tomorrow. Just notice when you cross the line. When your mind begins doing work your hands cannot do, remember? That part is not mine to carry. Then return to what is. One day, one decision, one faithful step. And let me remain responsible for what only I can hold. If you want to leave something in the comments, do not tell me the whole story. Just write, I'm putting it down. Not because the story's finished, because your part has an ending. You can care without controlling. You can love without caring the outcome. You can leave tomorrow where I left it. And the weight that remains after you have done what was yours? You can put this down now. I know where it belongs. Amen.